Check your phone because of a movie ad?
No, I think. Hang on, I'll tell you in a second. We're going live on Instagram, but it takes a second for Instagram to do its thing. All right. No, we were talking before the show started. Welcome to Crossing the Streams. I'm Jeff Tawashkin, and I don't know why I'm talking like this. And the Megalopolis preview, I believe it came out where it like starts like this, and you got to turn your phone like this, then you got to turn your phone like this. It was it was like weird.
Oh, I didn't see
Adam
that.
Driver and stuff. At least that's what I think was happening. Hello.
I think you're just showing your age.
What's up? No, I swear to God, it was messing with me.
Why's my phone on auto rotate? I can't handle this.
No, it was like it was. You think that was?
I mean, I watched a trailer in the movies, and the movie screen didn't change, so I don't know. I mean, it could have been a different trailer. I have no idea.
Well, it went down a movie screen. Anyway, welcome to Crossing the Streams, everybody, where we answer the universal question: what should I binge watch next? I just watched something, and now I got to watch something else. Well, you've come to the right place. We are ranked 83rd of all countries, top show in the world. Between us, we have 400,000 hours of binge watching experience. Between us, we are on episode 159. That means there are 158 episodes sitting there waiting for you after this one. That is a lot of binge watching suggestions, both movies and TV shows, old and new. If you're on Instagram, you can comment YouTube to get our YouTube link. That's a good one. All right. There was, shall I say, a disturbance in the force. James Earl Jones passed away.
Yeah. Upsetting.
That was Darth Vader for those. I rewatched. I stumbled upon the clip where he was on Big Bang Theory, and it was great because it looked like it was sort of a misdirect. It looked like they were going down that old William Shatner route. Oh, you like Star Wars? And he's like, so do I. It was great.
Just so many epic roles.
Yeah. And he's gonna, and upsettingly, he's never gonna be able to see Mufasa, the return of Mufasa.
Did he voice it? Did he voice it?
No, it's a prequel.
No, actually, the guy who's in that new Rebel Ridge is playing Mufasa because it takes place younger. But
that's my boy.
He did come back for the other live action.
Yeah.
I saw Rebel Ridge. I loved it. I've never seen him in anything else, but I'm really excited.
Yeah, he's a mid-size sedan.
We are talking about the same Rebel Ridge that Zach's going to talk about that later today. So you guys saw that, and then we're going to talk about Beetlejuice, and I'm doing this kind of backwards, but yeah, we got Beetlejuice, and The Perfect Couple on Netflix. Yeah. And then last week we talked about Knox Goes Away. So this is a back-to-back Michael Keaton episodes. We talked about Jackpot, The Crow, and Pop Star. Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Oh, I listen to that soundtrack every day of my life. That movie makes me laugh so much.
It is fantabulous. Yeah. What else? Is there anything else big besides having to move your phone for the Megalopolis trailer?
I didn't have to do that, so I'm excited to watch that trailer because that seems cool. Because he has been talking about this movie for 40 years. This has been the thing that he's been trying to pull off for so long, and finally is just able to do it because he's just an old man with so much money. But yeah, I'm super excited because every time there's a movie coming out and you watch interviews with him and they're like, so what's up with Megalopolis? And he's like, I'll get to it soon. And it's finally here. And I'm excited to see it. It's going to be cool.
We got some Mick, Dale Andrews. Thanks for tuning in, sir.
Thank you.
And then hello. James MCD Reviews.
Oh, man.
James, what's up, pal?
The James Earl Jones doing the alphabet was amazing. I would say, oh gosh, what was his name? Doing Green Eggs and Ham. Jesse. Jesse Jackson, Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Cool. Did he? I didn't know he did that.
On Saturday Night Live, he did when Dr. Seuss died. He read Green Eggs and Ham. Both of them had both amazing voices. There's another one, James MCD, is look up James Earl Jones, David Letterman, where they had the top 10 things that just sound better when James Earl Jones says it.
Oh, God, that's great.
It's so great. It's so great.
Jeff, let me ask you real quick. And Zach, tell me what you think, too, with the new Saturday Night Live movie that's coming out. It's getting, generating some heat. Like, either people really loved it or they really hated it. So are you excited for it? And Jeff, you interview plenty of people from Saturday Night Live and you love that show. So
I had literally no interest in it. But when it started getting good reviews and like that it was good and Jason Reitman's potentially best film, I haven't really been impressed with his Ghostbuster ones. I don't love, and it's not like the Saturday Night Live story hasn't been told before. This one looks like a unique take, and it's kind of funny that the guy from Succession is both Jim Henson and who else does he play? He plays two characters in it.
Oh, does he? I don't even know who the other one is.
Yeah, and I think George Carlin was the host of that episode. I have that episode on VHS tape. Old Saturday Night Live season 1 was one of the first things I ever collected on VHS.
That's so funny.
So I literally haven't. So yeah, the opening of that episode is literally, I think, just 6 minutes or so of George Carlin. There was Muppets. There was specific Muppets, not the ones we know like Kermit, but there were other Muppets. There was a whole segment. That's why he plays Jim Henson on it, because it was a whole Jim Henson.
The first SNL also had Andy Kaufman, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's who he plays, Andy Kaufman. Yeah. He plays Andy Kaufman as well. And then they've done Belushi biopics and stuff like that. Sometimes it's weird when it all depends, like if they're just embodying the character or they're trying to imitate the character.
Yeah. It honestly, for me, it only depends on what is the story being told. Like, what am I? Do I just care about the young actors being them and how SNL started, or is there actually like an arc that these characters go through that somehow they're going to manage to put on film? I watch everything, so I'll see it. I haven't been super excited to see it, but I'll definitely watch it. If it's in like the Lampoon movie. What was that one with the? It had Will Forte in it, and it was
about Doug Henry
from the Lampoon magazine. Yeah. It was extremely long and whatever. That movie, that was a very good movie. That's a great pseudo biopic. I was a fan of that. So if it's similar to that, yeah, I'm 100% in. But yeah, I'll definitely watch it. I'll let you know.
Sweet.
And it was called Saturday Night originally. It didn't become Saturday Night Live.
Well, wasn't it the Saturday Night with the not ready for primetime players was like the official?
Yeah, because Howard Cosell, I think, had a Saturday Night Live show.
Okay.
And I think there was a Johnny Carson in the preview that I saw. His role in it is he wanted a night off, and so that opened up a night for Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of James Earl Jones' voice, though, remember when like Waze was a thing and everyone had Waze on their phone and you can get like the different voices?
People still have Waze on their phone.
Oh, I don't think anyone uses Waze anymore. What? Like,
what's you actually standard now?
Waze is the standard?
I think
wow,
so.
I just use Google, whatever. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's funny. So anyway, like a couple of years ago when like the voices just became popular in Waze, my dad called me and he's like, hey, I finally got this app Waze. I got a couple of voices for you. I'm like, why'd you do it for me? And he's like, I figured we could share it. I'm like, we can't share a Waze plan. And he's like, all right, I'll come pick you up and we could just try it out. He's like, I got your favorite. I got Darth Vader. You should be happy. And I'm like, that's really cool, but I don't need a ride anywhere. Like I don't care about this. And he drove it was like a state away, drove all the way down there. And he's like, where do you want to go? And I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere. And he's like, I just got to show you this thing so you can listen to it. It ended up being Morgan Freeman. Long story short, but he was very happy about
that. And so, okay, can I show you guys something that I got for a birthday gift? Did I show you this last time? Mm-hmm. Like this is me, innocent man. Okay, that I found. I know 142 Mercer Street for anyone else who wants to do that. I know it's most of the time when people hold up a record album of them, it's them in London with their family at Abbey Road. And so my daughters took the photos and made actual album covers out of them.
That's so cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
I love it.
So that was fun. So now it's a thing. Now I gotta do record albums.
Are you gonna put them up on the wall behind you?
Yeah. I got them framed. So I gotta do that. I'm gonna do the Nirvana one next.
Naked baby.
Oh, did you see Dave Grohl comes out? He's like, I'm announcing my baby daughter with someone else. And, I think. And then today the news was he's hired a divorce attorney.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah, because he said something along the lines like he wanted to rebuild his family's trust. And then I saw that and I'm like,
I think the easiest way to do that would be not to have a baby with someone else. James, disaster artist vibes on Saturday night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it definitely looks like it could be good.
Could be good.
It definitely looks like it. But we'll see. We'll have to we'll all watch it. We could do a whole Saturday night retrospect. But let's dive into. We got some good stuff today. We already good stuff. Let's talk about Beetlejuice. I know both you guys saw this, but Mick's gonna lead the way.
Yes. So the long-awaited sequel of Beetlejuice. I went into this not really knowing what to expect. I like the original movie. I'm not a fanatical like a lot of people are, and it seems like more and more like the cult of Beetlejuice has been growing over the last like 10 or 15 years, but more and more. But which is great. I mean, I think it's a great movie, one of Tim Burton's best. But this one just did not have that same feel for me. Of like, even though I just kind of like it compared to everybody else, like I still get a good feeling every time I watch Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice just feels very kind of all over the place. There's some very cool ideas and setups for storylines that I would have loved to see. I wish there was actually 2 more movies where Dolores could have been expanded upon. But the one storyline I was really interested the most in this was the Astrid storyline with the boy. And that it was built up really well. I thought they did a great job. I love the lead in of Lydia having to grab Beetlejuice to help her save Astrid. And that whole feeling and vibe of what was going on. But then like these little things, like these jokes that were like being beaten to death over and over again. Willem Dafoe's in the movie. I love Willem Dafoe. And it's always great to see him. And even like the joke of like he was an ex-actor who was famous for playing a cop, goes down, he's dead, and now he serves downstairs as a cop, like, and it was funny because he just plays it the only way he knows how as the actor. So that was funny the first time. And they dragged that out through the entire movie, way more than they needed to. The Dolores storyline was set up really well and then just went nowhere. There's a lip syncing scene that I swear to God, I almost just got up and walked out on because it was too long. It wasn't funny 5 seconds in, and they did the whole song. So it was like, I'm here for minutes, just like, this is unbearably bad.
That was their Deo moment.
Oof. No.
I mean, that's what they were trying to make.
Yeah, they were trying to do that.
Maybe I'm you know what, I put this scene when you said Deo moment, that's why I will not compare it to that. I compare it to a scene that infuriates me a lot from Scream 2, where Jerry O'Connell's singing on the table to Sydney's character, Nev Campbell's Sydney character, and the film guru geek kid says that it's the song from Top Gun, and it's very clearly not the song from Top Gun. And it's not even a similar scene to the Top Gun scene. So like that is a scene that involves music that has always pissed me off in movies. This is second to that. This pissed me off so much because I was like, this is uselessly long and stupid. but I want to give it its the acting was good. Catherine O'Hara shines amazingly in this. Michael Keaton doesn't miss a beat, neither does Winona Ryder. I thought they both everybody just did a fantastic job. What they did with what's his name's character, Charles I can't remember his real name, Jeffrey something. Yeah. So like what they did with his character to kind of bring it in was really good. All those little subtle jokes were funny, like the shark fin tombstone and all that stuff. So there's a lot of really funny elements to this. The set design is amazing. I mean, but it's Tim Burton, of course, it was going to be. All the costuming, the effects, all of it was just truly great. It was too much in it. I just wish there was more direct.
How was Wednesday?
She was great. She did a really great job. I mean, they didn't utilize her well enough because they cut her storyline out, and then just was kind of like done.
So actually, I'm going to disagree with you as far as opinion on that one. I felt going into it, my problems were I'm worried about what they're going to do with the dad because I hate that character and he's a big part of the first one. I'm worried that it's going to be too much Jenna Ortega because that's like what's happening right now. And I was kind of worried the Beetlejuice is going to be overused. I will say that I was happy with how little Jenna Ortega is in it because I thought that her storyline seemed like it was an afterthought, like a Goosebumps kind of a tale, when I think that Winona Ryder should have been more of the star of the movie because she is the star of Beetlejuice. I like that, having what they did with the dad character and having Catherine O'Hara have to go find him, I thought was interesting. And that's a really cool way of using Beetlejuice. But I agree with you. In this movie, there are 3 bad guys. And at one point, they all just kind of go away. It's just very weird, like how they just resolve all 3 of these pointless bad guys. And I also agree with you on Willem Dafoe, although he's having a great time. And every time his assistant hands him a coffee just for him to squeeze the coffee in a crime scene was so funny. I thought that was so great.
They were great. I don't mean to interject on your review, but they were really funny scenes. It was just it didn't fit in this. Like it was just weird.
And when you find out that Tim Burton is with Monica Bellucci, you're like, okay, well now I get why you're the main bad guy. And the opening scene of her is amazing. And you're like, I don't know how that happened or why that happened or what's going on, but whatever. That seems kind of cool. It is 100% Tim Burton movie though. And if you like that, then it's worth a watch, because although there's a lot of problems with the movie, like I left it being like, why was this happening? Why did this happen? Why did this happen? But ultimately, I think that I enjoyed the experience of watching it. Like the claymation was done so perfectly. There was not too much CGI. Where it was used was so sparing. What they did with the dad, I thought was genius. Like to use his character as the precipice for getting to the underworld, I thought was so smart and a great way to have an absolute POS of a human character put back on screen. Not great, but good.
No, yeah, and I'm definitely there with you. Like it's one I might watch again. Like it was a good one, but I kind of honestly I wish, because there were two villains that were really they were good stories. Like I would have liked to have seen Dolores introduced in this, then maybe find disappear. She's on the running for him. Maybe Beetlejuice goes to help Lydia, draws her out. At the wedding, she comes, maybe takes Lydia back down with her.
Yeah.
And so now it turns into Beetlejuice and Astrid have to go save Lydia
in a
third movie or something like that. And I just felt like that's where, if you really chopped this up and did it well, it could have been really good.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree completely.
So was Michael Keaton was on point?
He definitely was doing his job. Like he's Beetlejuice. He was there. I didn't think that he was too much. I never did not want him to be there. But he's just older, so it kind of shows, but it was good. He was not the problem with it. The problem with the movie really, and just from like a film point of view, not even from like entertainment or whatever, but it's just like there's all these villains that don't need to, like in the first one, Beetlejuice is the villain, he's the bad guy. You got to figure this out. In the second one, you're like, there's 3 other bad guys that don't really have anything to do with each other. And you're watching Beetlejuice in this story, and you always cut away to a bad guy, and you're like, I don't really know why they're doing this thing. But once again, the parts that are great Sam Raimi are phenomenal. I was so impressed with the use of claymation. Like, I think that he absolutely nailed it in this movie. And if you do the Sam Raimi math, which is if it's his property, it's probably good. If it's not his IP, it's not very good. And if it's a sequel, you don't really know. And I think that's what you get here. It's like, yeah, this is good enough.
Yeah, that's a great point. I like that a lot.
All right, so good enough is the final call on Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
It was the most clever name for a sequel, because then the next one could be Beetlejuice.
Which boggles my mind, because I feel like that would be the perfect, if they did do the Dolores storyline as the third one, set it up for a third movie where Beetlejuice has to go.
Yeah.
He's being summoned. Oh my God, that would have been a perfect title to finish this off. And they 100%.
And honestly, like, it is the best title since that Dan Harmon joke where he said, that Now You See Me movie, how the sequel should have been, and now you don't. Like, that is the most perfect setup for a title that was not used. But Beetlejuice, perfect title.
Yeah.
All right. So final call to answer the question that was posed. Go to the theater or wait for it to come on home streaming?
If you want a fun time out at the movies or something, and you're not going to go take it too seriously, yeah, I would say you could go out to the theaters, but you can wait till home. It's not that big a deal either. It's a couple weeks.
Yeah, no, I agree. If you go into it, if you go into it not expecting a lot, you're looking for just a good time. Also, when I saw it, like, there's a woman who sat next to me. I don't think that was her ticket, but she sat next to me, and she was so drunk, and she kept like texting somebody because her phone was like so bright, and it was in my face. And then she made a phone call, and it was like, "No, I'm in Beetlejuice. I'll show you pictures." And so about the first 15 minutes of the movie, she was holding her camera up, waiting for Beetlejuice to get on screen so she could take a picture and Snapchat it. So don't sit in Myrtle Beach and watch Beetlejuice, but anywhere else, go ahead.
Anywhere else, it's good.
Anywhere else, yeah.
Anywhere else, okay. Fair enough.
That's good advice for anywhere.
That is good. That is great advice.
I wish somebody gave me that advice when I moved here.
Right.
Yeah.
True. All right.
You want a good movie in the theater? See Blink Twice. That movie was cool.
Blink Twice was pretty interesting.
I like that movie.
Let's talk about. I'll go next. Let's talk about The Perfect Couple. Did either of you guys see this?
No, but is this the one with the woman, the wife that goes down the stairs?
No. Down the stairs? No.
I think it's called The Stairway.
All right. I didn't know if they made. There's so many of those documentaries being made into live action shows now. Like, is this the one? Because I think there's another one that on Peacock that's like has an ensemble cast. It's called like the Ties That Bind Us or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And I think either one of them's about the staircase. I know that's
so funny. It's so funny.
I will say that there is no staircases in The Perfect Couple that I remember. I don't even remember. This Perfect Couple series, which just debuted September 5th on Netflix. Not something I would probably normally watch, but my wife's like, "Hey, I just watched the first episode. If you watch it, I'll wait for you." And so I downloaded it when I was coming back from Dallas, and I watched it on the plane. I was like, "Oh, okay, I enjoy this. I get it. Okay, so what this is about, it's a book. It's an adaptation from a novel, also called The Perfect Couple, that was written in 2018, so not too long ago, by Elin Hilderbrand, and it is it's a mystery drama. It's there. You come in and there's a very lavish wedding. This is very rich people, a lot of money on this Nantucket and their Nantucket home, and lavish wedding. And there is at the end, the next morning, before the wedding, so after the rehearsal dinner, a body washes up on the beach, and there's a member of the cast that is dead. I'm not going to say who, because while it's very clear, very fast, it is the big reveal at the end of episode 1. So I don't want to ruin that. I will say, if you read the book, it's my understanding, and what I've done and what I've looked into, that the miniseries diverges a lot from the book, including the ending. So this stars Nicole Kidman. She seems to be having a run of television shows. I will say she's very good in this one. The last one, she kind of played a Russian. I like her just white rich person in this one. I think she plays that a little better. And then you got her husband. She's Greer Winbury, and then her husband is Liev Schreiber. You may know him as Sabretooth from not the original Sabretooth, Ray Donovan, and many other things. And then some of the other Megan Fye, she plays the maid of honor. You know her from White Lotus and probably some other stuff as well. And then the bride is Eve Hewson, who is very good, and of note is the daughter of Bono. So Jason Taylor watched. Let's see. Yes, I think. All right, good. We're tracking.
Yeah, mostly good's good.
Yeah, mostly good. So Dakota Fanning is in this. If you're a fan of Dakota Fanning, she's all grown up, and she's really great in this. It's about a rich family who lives on Nantucket. There's a murder on the property, and they don't want to fully cooperate because Nicole Kidman's character is a very successful author. She's about to do a book launch, and let's face it, a murder on your property before you're doing a big thing can screw up your plans a bit. Can we all agree that a murder is not convenient, especially when keeping a very specific public persona is your key thing? So they would kind of want to keep it, quiet. Now the cop is Michael Beach. He's great, and then he's the local cop that Liev Schreiber keeps insinuating that should back off because they donate a lot of money. And then Donna Lynn Champlin plays the kind of fish out of water cop, but she's a badass cop. But by fish out of water, I mean she's not rich. She doesn't fit in like at that level of society. But oh my goodness, I love her. Now, I saw a lot of things on TikTok and stuff, and I think people read the book maybe, or there were some people that didn't love it. Rotten Tomatoes is a 61%, and then audience 67%. I'll say I'm at the higher end of the audience recommendations. I found this extremely enjoyable, and I got to tell you, I never figured it out, and I was always guessing along the way, and it was an interesting kind of way they did it, where they sort of like when you're playing Clue, and okay, it wasn't Colonel Mustard, right? He's you know what I'm saying, that's kind of how they did it. It was never was that person lying or anything like that, because there were so many characters, and they just they teased you, they made you think, and then they kind of would filter some people out. They'd kind of tell it was never like they were lying. It was like, you're learning this as you go, and then you're like, and we're gonna be, and then it could be this one, and and I was that way all the way up to the end. There was a couple of things that they changed from the book to the miniseries that coincidentally my wife was like, oh, I didn't really love that part. And I didn't love that part of the story, or that explanation of who that person was. And those things, inevitably, none of those were in the book. They were made just for the miniseries. Now, that was just her kind of gut because she didn't have the book to really compare it to. I haven't read the book. Just watching this, I found it very fun and bingeable. And I will say, not since Peacemaker has there been an opening credits that you will not skip. And it's in the same vein. It's like they're dancing and they're doing this dance at like the rehearsal dinner, and it's just like it's very short, so there's no reason to skip it, but it's mesmerizingly fun to watch. Oh, Jason says he guessed the kill. Jason, you didn't guess the killer. You're a liar. Jason Taylor is a liar.
I don't know. He's a Matlock fan.
I declare it right now. It is very fun. Okay, right. Because the opening credits is sort of hold on. Yeah.
Is it a dark show or is it more? Is there a comedic element?
It's just I don't know. I wouldn't say it's dark. I guess there's some dark elements of it. There's like betrayal. There's this. There's that.
How many episodes is it?
It's not a comedy by any means. 6 episodes, or about 45 minutes, maybe 50
6
minutes
episodes.
Each. And then I give you the Jason Taylor challenge, which is try and figure it out, I guess, by the 4th episode. But I say just guessed and had no idea.
Man, these short seasons.
Well, you know what? When it's a book, I mean, like, there's only so much you need to do, right? I mean, if you're inventing the full story, if it's a book, there's only, I think it's, keep it tight. Keep it as tight as it needs to be. You don't need to make it longer than it needs to be. But
is it as good of a mystery as like Only Murders in the Building? Because I thought, especially season 1, the way they plotted that out and had you guessing and knocking people out, like it can't be this person because of this. Is it like that? Because I didn't get a chance to watch this yet.
I don't know if it's like the greatest mystery murder. I mean, how hard could it be if Jason Taylor figured it out?
Once again, Jason Taylor watches Matlock. That guy solves crimes.
I'm just giving Jason some fun love, but like I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I thought they reworked it from the book. I mean, after I read what the book was about, I don't think I would have been happy with the book ending. I'll tell you that. And so. I enjoyed it. I thought it was it made sense, at least. I could see. I watched it just to enjoy it, just to be honest with you. So it wasn't like I was trying to figure out the murder per se. I mean, it was in a fun way, not a Jason Taylor way. But wait, I'm kidding. Damn, Jeff, on our 4th anniversary.
Oh,
I'm kidding around, dude.
You guys have been together for 4 years, Jeff. Nice.
No, I'm just joking around with you. I'm only joking because I said I couldn't figure it out, and you're like, I figured it out. So I had to give you a hard time.
No, you're dumb.
Especially since you're not here. Touche. I'm here for Megan. Fair enough. Anywho,
he wins.
Anyway, I say watch it. I enjoyed Nicole. I enjoyed everyone. I enjoyed. I think if you drank every time Liev Schreiber smoked a joint in the show, you would die. That's how much he smoked pot in the show, which is part of his character. I enjoyed it a lot. I really did. It was fun. Now, is it Bad Monkey? No, I love Bad Monkey.
Oh my God, that show's amazing.
Wow, I love Bad Monkey.
Yeah, Bad Monkey is like the greatest thing ever.
But when that finishes, we should do something about that.
Yes, we should we'll do I know one more. I don't know how many episodes there are, but I know a new one came out today, which I haven't seen yet. But the Bad Monkey alone should win an award just for the recaps.
What a great use for Scott Glenn's character.
So anyway, I do recommend if you want to kind of watch something, I found the perfect couple to be just enough enjoyable and just a good enough mystery. Who wouldn't want to watch instead Rebel Ridge? Is that
Ridge?
That Don Johnson? I see.
That is Don Johnson. So I love bad movies that come onto Netflix. It's one of my kinks, and this is a safe zone, I assume. So let's get into my newest kink, which is Rebel Ridge. This movie popped up like a couple days ago. It's got a pretty interesting front thing. When you watch like that opening trailer, that 30-second trailer, you kind of get caught up in this because you're like, oh man, this sucks already. Like I've known this man for 10 seconds of my life, and I'm already behind him. But yeah, Rebel Ridge, it just came out 93 minutes, so it's a tight 90, which you can't beat as far as an action movie goes. It is directed by Jeremy Saulnier, who directed this, and also Green Room, which is a really good movie if you're into that kind of stuff. Green Room, it's A24 movie. I'm a mega fan of A24, so anything they did, go check it out. So once I saw that he directed it, I was like, okay, there's some capable hands here. Now, this stars Aaron Pierre, who, if you've seen the movie Old, he is mid-sized sedan and old. So he has a little bit of acting experience through M. Night Shyamalan. It also has Don Johnson, which you see on the front, and Anna Sophia Robb, who is the girl from Bridge to Terabithia. She's all grown up now. Now she's like an ex-heroin user, wannabe law clerk. It also has David Denman, who is Daryl from The Office. It's Pam's first boyfriend. What was it? Isn't it Daryl? Anyway, he's awesome.
The guy who worked in the David Denman.
Roy, right? Roy. So Netflix describes this as an ex-Marine grapples his way through a web of small-town corruption when an attempt to post bail for his cousin escalates into a violent standoff with the local police chief. Right? I didn't expect much out of this. This thing turns on, and immediately it just starts with this guy, and he's on a bicycle, and you'll see this in that opening little crawl, right? And then a cop just hits him on the back tire, and he goes flipping. When they search him, because apparently cops in Louisiana will just search random people that are not white for their own reasons, whatever. I'm not here to judge them. They should judge themselves. But anyway, they find in his bag there's like $30-some thousand, and they go, "What's this money for?" And he's like, "Look, I'm just trying to bail out my cousin from jail. We're going to go do our own business, whatever." And the cops are like, "We're pretty sure this is drug money, so we're going to take it." And the guy's like, "Look, I got to get my cousin out of jail. This is really important to me, whatever." And the cops like, "Hey, here's a summons. You have 30 days. We'll get your money back. If not, blah, blah." So now he's like, they wrecked his bike and he's got to go get his cousin, and he doesn't have this money, right? So he goes into town. He's like, what's happening? Like, you guys stole my money. I got to do this. What ensues for the next 90-ish minutes is him putting such a brutal beat down on people that will not help him get his cousin out of jail without killing anybody. He actively goes after their guns and unloads them all. At one point, he picks up a guy and just throws him on his tailbone, which seems like the most hurtful thing you can do to an older man like myself. And I can only assume that anyone who gets chucked on their tailbone is not having a good time here. It turns out through the story that Don Johnson is like the head of the local government. He's like the sheriff or whatever. And because how the taxes are working, they're like losing money. So they decided to just rob every single person ever to make sure that he can pay for payroll because he's a good guy. And then you're like, oh, maybe the cops aren't that bad. Maybe they should be stealing from every human to make sure they can pay for more cops to be around. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. They should judge themselves. Either way, this movie is it's tight. It is action-packed. A lot of people make some impressive choices. The action is very good. It turns out that this guy is like a martial arts instructor for the Marines. And there's this weird little Wi-Fi hiccup in the movie, and they can't figure out who he is until it's a little bit too late for Mr. Don Johnson. But yeah, this movie is a blast. I had a really good time watching it. It turns out really cool. It does not go the way you expect it to go. There was a couple twists that I was like, oh, I can't believe they did that. I'm really super excited to see this. I even try to watch a lot of movies with my wife just to get her perspective on things because, she's not as smart as I am when it comes to movies. And I like to see what the layman thinks about certain things. And she really liked it. She thought that a turn for people that have to make choices based on what they think is most important, no matter if you kind of know that you're wrong. And she was a fan of that. And I agree with her on this instance. In this instance alone, I agree with her. She did a very good job. No, seriously, Rebel Ridge, quick, easy watch, and you will not regret it. If you do, I'll give your money back.
Yeah, great review on that.
Thank
you. I loved it. I thought it was such a good movie. It was a better version of First Blood, and I love First Blood. Don't get me wrong, but it is a better version because honestly, like the restraint he shows throughout, is wonderfully done, and and to see such a great antagonist in Don Johnson who has no restraint. There are points where they're just like, Chief, what are you doing? Like, I just really enjoyed the dichotomy of this movie and everything they brought into it.
And doing a little bit of research, it turns out that this movie was originally cast in 2019, and John Boyega was supposed to be the lead character of this. And he actually went all the way, I think, middle of post-production on this movie until COVID hit, and he wasn't able to do it anymore. And I was trying to think if I would have rather seen John Boyega. I think that the acting would have been better, but the action would have been worse. The amount of power that this man possesses in such a short amount of time and so quickly to just unload their weapons, to not really kill somebody, but make sure they do not want to go against him again. And Don Johnson is doing a great job. And if you guys don't know, he's famously Dakota Johnson's dad, and that only. So if you're looking for that kind of awesome Southern, I'm a man of power kind of acting, and Don Johnson brings it, and he did a great job. And great antagonist. Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Charismatic too. He brought a charisma to it that, like, there are points where he's talking and you're like, you can't help but like him at some point.
Yeah. And you're like, how is his daughter's acting so bad when she can look at his dad, who is so great? But no, I seriously, I couldn't, like, this movie, I think is getting like 7 out of 10 reviews. I think that's a little bit low. I think that the acting could be a little better. I think the underlying story, what they're trying to tell, and the subtext of everything is spot on. Yeah, I love it, and I'll watch it again tonight.
Amazing. Great review. I have a couple questions for you guys on other shows. So, have you ever watched Slow Horses?
I haven't watched it, but I've heard of it, and I've heard good things.
No, I've never heard of it.
Okay. Slow Horses is Gary Oldman. He's the star. It's on Apple TV. It's like 5 seasons. It's like it's supposed to be really, really great. I started watching the second episode, and the accents were just too much for me. I wasn't focused enough to then also deal with the accents. You know what I mean? Trying to figure, and read and all that kind of stuff. So I have to give it another chance. And then I am caught up on Only Murders. No spoilers, but it's amazing how great a season 4 show this is. So I think
it's a really clever show, and it has so much heart. And that first season, you can't help but love these characters after season 1. Like, I absolutely adore the show, and I think that the way that they break the mysteries down is in season 1 absolutely great. I think in season 2, it kind of gets a little lull for a second, but I love these characters so much so that I made my wife watch all the Father to Bride movies, well, both of them, yesterday, and we just spent all day just crying, being like, "Oh, he is such a good actor." No, I love Only Murders. Great movie.
I agree with you. Season 2 was a little slow. I remember that now, but season 3, which they've carried on with season 4. They figured out how to master bringing in new characters and having them be very impactful, and really kind of reinvent the show in a creative way.
And honestly, once season 2 started and I saw Amy Schumer, I literally was like, well, I hate this season, so I don't care.
Right. I mean, they got Zach Galifianakis, Ava Longoria, and Eugene Levy all playing themselves.
Great. So great.
So good.
That's such a great setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the setup is they're making a movie of the podcast, but it's done kind of in a unique way. You know, it's like sometimes those can go the exact same way, but they've always done it. I always thought, like, I think this was season 1. One of the best shows, I think, of any episode of any show I've seen in a long time, where it was all done from the point of view of the son who was deaf.
Theo.
Yeah, and it was like there was no sound in the whole episode, and it's a brilliant episode.
Yeah, Aziz Ansari, his show, he had an episode where there was no sound whatsoever, and if done right, and the episode of Only Murders in the Building did it absolutely perfectly. It can be so powerful. It sounded the same thing as like The Quiet Place when you watch The Quiet Place the first one, and you're like, wait a minute. This feels I should be hearing stuff. I'm freaking out a little bit. And just that kind of anxiety is really tempting, and they did a great job with it.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right. You know who else did a great job? Us tonight. So good. So good.
Love it.
Thank you guys for hanging out again.
Thanks for having us.
Always a blast. Always a blast. Thanks for everyone who joined.
It's our pleasure.
The Instagram. Mick, plug your Scene Snobs and all that good stuff.
I am the Scene Snob. Go check out the Scene Snobs channel. I'm Mick Manhattan. We do some really fun stuff. We talk about movies, talk about geek stuff and more. Go check us out. Primarily movies, though. That's where we love it. So go hang out with us. If I could plug, though, we are doing giveaways starting on 9/20. And we're going to be doing for 2 of our lucky patrons.
Wait, you got to die to get that.
That's what I wanted to ask. How did they write out Gina Davis and Alex?
There was tiny models in the very opening shot, but that was it. They didn't use them.
Yeah, they just said that they found a loophole for them to move on, and that was all. Yeah, so I'm doing a giveaway of these starting at 9/20. We will announce the winners on so one lucky patron will win the cup, one lucky patron will win the popcorn bucket, go join. All you have to do is join up on our Patreon. Free tier, paid tier, whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah. That also gets you in our Discord. We have lots of perks like newsletters and stuff on there. So go check us out. Appreciate you.
That's cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
I hope everybody signs up for that because I'm also I'm hoping that I win this one as well as I win everything, which I try too hard.
I hope you win. Plug your stuff.
I hope I win that one.
What's up? Away.
Listen, honestly, don't even think that I matter at all. Go check out 3 Geeks podcast. They do some really cool stuff. They do that Remake Revolution. Also, Jason does his Matlock breakdown, which is so addictive for some reason. I don't like Matlock, but I like Jason talking about Matlock for some reason. And that's good enough for me. So once you're done watching all 3,000 hours of Dwoskin, go check out 3 Geeks.
Check out the 3 Geeks. All right. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. And we'll be back every Wednesday. Check out Classic Conversations if you'd like. That's my fabulous podcast. And that's it. R.I.P. James Earl Jones. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Adios.
Later, James.
This AI stuff is going crazy, though. These photos on Facebook. You seen these AI photos on Facebook? Where it's like military people and their birthdays, and it's like, why can't this thing trend? # Scarlett Johansson. Why is that?